So in this video, we're gonna be looking at geometry of straight lines, right? Um, just like any other video, we start our video by discussing the fundamentals, right? Fundamentals of geometry of straight line. I like to call them X-fuzz, or that's what I was taught, X-fuzz, right? We're gonna learn it here, X-fuzz, just like that. Well, not the U like that, X-fuzz, right? The X is for vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angles meaning that this angle is equal to that angle. It will always be like that. And then this angle here is equal to that angle right there. Vertically opposite, right? Always gonna be like that. This line here means straight line, right? Straight line meaning that angles on a straight line is equal to 180 degrees. That is a rule, right? The F here means that corresponding angles, that angle over there is equal to that angle over there, corresponding, right? Bonding. The U means co-interior angles, meaning that this angle over here plus that angle over there, both of those equal to 180 degrees, right? This is co-interior angles, right? And then for the Z, we have that angle over there is equal to that angle over there, and that is that is horrible. That is alternating angles, ATE angles, right? Now if you watched my previous video on geometry shapes, you'll know that in any case, all the cases, you have to say your reasoning, right? So for example, if we had a shape here, an X, and here they said that it's 40 degrees, and then they ask you for X, you would say that X is equal to 40 degrees, and then you have to say your reasoning. Your reason would be vertically opposite angles. So opposite, I'm going to abbreviate it, but please write the full thing in your exams. Angles, right? And then if they ask you what is Y, remember that this over here is a straight line, right? Or you can use this as a straight line, right? I'm going to use this first straight line and say, look at that, that is a straight line. So you're going to say 180, or you can say 40 degrees plus Y is equal to 180 degrees. And then you say angles on straight line, on a straight line, but I'm gonna abbreviate it like usual, on a straight line, right? And then you know that in this case you put the 40 that side because we want to get Y alone. We can't say 40 plus Y, that's impossible. We want to have Y alone. So if we take 40 that side, it's going to become negative 180 minus 40 is going to give us 140 degrees, and that's your answer, right? Or you could say this path also, right? This path, remember that we found X, right? I don't know why it's doing that. Remember we found X, right? X is right here. X is 40. So the same way, you say 40 plus Y is equal to 180. Give the same reasoning, give the same answer at the end. Y equals to 140 degrees. There you go, right? So you see, either way, it's still the same. Now let's go and look at, we looked at vertically opposite angles here, and we also looked at angles on a straight line, right? Just a quick one before we move on. I ask you, what is the value of Z there? right? Try to find the value of z using vertically opposite angles, and try to find it using angles on a straight line, right? If you use vertically opposite angles, you know there's y there, that's z. Y, we know the answer for it, 140. So z equals to 140. Give your reasoning there, right? And then straight line, we know that z exists in this part here, so that you can say z plus 40 equals to 180, right? And that is z is equal to 140 degrees. Then you say your reasoning there, angles on a straight line, right? I hope you paused it there before I spoiled it for you. If you did not, sorry, you can just rewind and then try to understand it once again, right? Let's do the corresponding angles, right? Corresponding angles, if I gave you an F like that, right? And then I said that this is a 90-degree angle, right? We know that this square thing represents a right angle, right? And a right angle we know is always 90 degrees. That's an R, right? It represents 90 degrees. So I say to you, find x. You can then say x is equals to 90 degrees. What is your reasoning? Your reason is corresponding angles, right? But in this case, unlike the straight line and the vertically opposite angles, you can only say they are corresponding angles if they are parallel, right? The two lines must be parallel in order for them to become corresponding angles, right? It's a rule that is there in maths. If these two lines are not parallel and you say that x is equals to 90, your answer is wrong, right? You could also add it there by saying that line maybe line AB is parallel to line DC. Line AB is parallel to line DC if I named them, right? And then that is your reasoning. You're saying that they've already told you that these lines are parallel, right? Alternatively, if they don't tell you that these lines are parallel, right? Let me do this here. If they don't tell you that these lines are parallel, please forgive me if this is grade 9 or 10 maths. I'm confusing everything, but if you know this ahead of your time, it's fine. If this doesn't apply for you right now and you guys have never done this in class, you can listen here just for fun. If they tell you that these two angles are equal, but they don't tell you that these two lines are parallel, and just because of that, then these two lines are parallel, right? Equal angles create parallel lines, in the same way that if parallel lines create equal angles. I hope that makes at least 10% of sense, because right? And then that is your reasoning for finding x. Now, how do you find y? Right? You could just say angles on a straight line, right? I do not know why this keeps on doing that. You could just say angles on a straight line. Or alternatively, these are parallel lines, and does that not create a U? Turn your video the other way if you don't see it. That creates a U, meaning that this angle plus that angle add up to 180. And we said that that is co-interior angles. So just like that, you could say angle, that 90-degree angle plus angle y is equal to 180 degrees. What is your reasoning? Your reasoning is co-interior angles. Co-int. Please write the full thing. And then you say that this line is parallel to that line. You get me? And then take 90 to the other side. You get y is equals to 180 degrees minus 90. I almost said that is it. No, that is not it. I haven't given the final answer. Y is equal to 90 degrees. The same way, if you had done it angles on a straight line, you'd say 180 minus 90, because we know that x is equal to 90 there, and then you'd say y is 90 degrees, right? It's important for you to know these different ways. The same way here, for z, I was able to get to the same answer using two different ways, right? It's important for you to know these different paths to the same answer, so that in case in this case, in in case they don't give you x there, if they don't give you x, then you know that you can use co-interior angles to find the answer. But if they give you x but don't give you this right angle here, you can't use co-interior angles, but instead you have to use angles on a straight line. Do you understand? So knowing these different ways to the same answer means that if one way is blocked, you can use the other way, right? Same way as in the morning when you rush off to school and you guys are late, and you know that there's this one road, but this one road is full because everyone knows it and everyone takes it. But because I'm smart, I can take this other way and then I can get to school faster. Same thing. The one way to the answer is blocked, use the other path, right? And sometimes you have all ways open. You can just take whichever answer path to the answer that you want, right? Now we move on to the next one, which is alternate angles, and that we draw with a very nice C, right? Alternate angles, if this is 40 degrees and we say find the value of x, remember what I said, must always be parallel lines. So that line and that line is parallel. I know that there's a little z right there, meaning that this angle is equal to that angle. Therefore, I am going to say to my answer sheet, x give me x is equal to 40 degrees, and my reasoning there is alternate angles, and then again I say which two lines are parallel. AB is parallel to DC. Same way, right? This was just the basics and overview of everything. Before we move on to the exercises, please try to understand how each one of these work, how vertically opposite angles works, straight line works, corresponding angles work, co-interior angles work, and alternating angles. Please try to understand how each one of these work, and then go through this part once again and see how it was applied. Then now join us for the questions, right? So here the first few questions are about a straight line, right? If you get this, if you understand the first one, you can pause and play whenever you finish doing the other questions, right? But for the first one, please keep track and see how we get there, right? We said that once we see a right angle there, we know it's 90 degrees, right? Once you see a right angle, we know it's 90 degrees. Therefore, we automatically say that this straight line, we have 90, we have 29, we're missing 1 there, right? So we're going to now say, start our formula and say x plus 29 degrees plus 90 degrees equals to 180 degrees. What is our reasoning? Angles on a straight line, right? Line, right? And then you have x alone there. 29 plus 90 is 119, right? Equals to 180 degrees. You can't add x and 119, right? So in that case, you have to take 119 to the other side. you have to take 119 to the other side, and then it becomes negative. In that case, you say x equals to 180 minus 119. That should give you, I'm doing this all in my head, so please correct me if I'm wrong, that should give you 61 degrees. And that is worth 61 degrees, right? Alternatively, you could have said, yeah, no, let me not confuse you guys. Right? So if you got the first one, if you got the first one, it's fine. Pause the video here. Try to attempt this by yourself. Remember, it's straight line. Through all these examples, we're going to do the same thing. At a straight line, therefore, we're going to say that 2y plus 48 degrees plus 52 degrees equals to 180. Give your reason. Angles on a straight line. I'm just gonna write this to be shorter. Please don't write this. Please, 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 please. Right? And then you have 2y plus 48 plus 52 should give us 100, right? 100 equals to 180 degrees, right? Then you say can't add 2y and 100, so I'm gonna take 100 to the other side. Then it's gonna become 2y is equal to, when 100 goes to the other side, it then becomes negative, so it's gonna be minus 100 there, right? Then it's gonna be 2y is equals to 80, right? How do I get y by itself? Divide both sides by 2 and 2. This 2 will cancel that. I will have y left alone. 80 divided by 2 should give me 40. And that is my answer. Y is equal to 40. What did they ask for? The size of y. Yes. Y is equals to 40 degrees, right? Let's continue. Another practice one. So here they want us to find the value of x, but after finding the value of x, they want us to find E, C, B, right? So this angle over there, right? That's how it works. If you see 3 letters here, where there's a copy, that means that is the actual angle, right? So instead of them saying angle C, you will think that it's this whole thing, but no, it's not the whole thing. They're telling you start from angle E, C, and then go to B. That would be it. If you wanted this angle for 3x, you would say E, come to C, put a copy because that's the angle, and then D. If you wanted the angle at X, you'd say D, C, put copy, A. You get me? Alright, let's move on to answering it. So we can't find this angle, without finding the value of x. So first of all, find x the same way that we did before. That would mean that we say x plus 3x plus 2x equals to 180 degrees. And then angles on a straight line, right? Now you're going to say x plus 3x plus 2x. Can you add those up? Yes, because they all x. It's not power of 2, it's not power of 3. They're all just basic x's, right? So it's going to say x plus 3x is going to give us 4x plus 2x should give us 6x, right? 6x is equal to 180 degrees. X, oh sorry, skipped a step there. How do we find x by itself? Divide by 6 on both sides. Divide by 6, divide by 6. X is equal to, this should give me 30. Yeah, 30, right? And that's how you find it. Now, don't do the mistake I did. I thought I was already done, but move on to question B there. Question B is asking us to find 2x. All we have to do in that place is say angle ECB is equal to 2x. Now, in the place of x, since we know that x is worth 30, substitute 30 wherever you see x. So then it's going to say 2 multiplied by 30. Then we know that it's going to be 2 multiplied by 30 is going to give us 60. And that is your final answer, right? So here it's going to be 2 multiplied by x, 60. 3 multiplied by x is 180. Yeah, something's wrong here. Oh no, 3 multiplied by x is 30. So 3 multiplied by x is 90. And then x by itself is 30. Does that add up? 30 plus 60 is 90. 90 plus 90 is 180. Perfect, right? Yeah, the last one on straight lines. Now, if you've been going through this with me, each problem together, please pause this. Even though you don't think you fully understand, just try to do what you think you remember, right? Pause, rewind, look at what the other problems were, how we solved it, how we got to it, and then now look at this question and then see how you can answer this, right? Pause this and then answer it, then come back, right? I'm going to continue now and say, what do they want from us? They want angle M. Well, they want the value of M, and they want SQR. SQR. This angle over here, right? So what are we going to do? Same as always. We're going to say 70 degrees plus 80 plus M plus 10, right, is equals to 180 degrees. What is our reason? Angles on a straight line, right? So 70 plus 80, how much does that give us? 150, right? Oh, sorry, I missed one. 150 plus this 10. So always remember 70 plus 80 plus 10. So it's going to give us 160. 160 plus M equals to 180, right? 180, take the 60 to the other side. You're going to say minus 160, and you're going to be left with M is equal to 20, right? But we're not done. The question says that they also want us to solve this angle here, SQR. So we're going to say SQR is equal to M plus 10. Wherever you see M, substitute with the amount that we found here, 20. So it's going to be 20 plus 10. That will give us 30. Now angle SQR is equal to 30. Simple enough, right? Then now we move to the fun stuff, the challenging part, right? Here, this is just a simple one of vertically opposite angles, right? We know based on this little figure here that vertically opposite angles are equal, right? So we're gonna come here and say and do the same thing. So this angle and that angle are equal, this angle and that angle are equal, right? Knowing that, we are now going to say, calculate the value of M. We're going to now say that M plus 20 degrees, we know that these two are equal, so we're just going to say equal 100 degrees. What is our reasoning? Vertically opposite angles, right? Then now we know that you can't add M and 20, so we're going to take 20 to the other side, and it's going to be minus 20, because it was positive here. It changes. Positive becomes negative when it goes over the equal sign, and negative becomes positive when it goes over the equal sign. Then we say M is equals to 80 there. Then you found your answer. Now if they had asked you to find whatever angle this is, this angle over here, if they asked you to find that, we would simply then do what we did before. In the place of M, you put what we found. So m plus 20, right? In the place of m, you just put 80 there, so it's gonna be 80 plus 20, and your answer is 100, same as this side, right? Moving on to the next one, same thing here, calculate the value of t. So we begin once again. Always remember your reasoning. So here we're gonna say 3t plus 12. Remember, vertically opposite angles, so this angle and that angle are the same. So 3t plus 12 is equal to 66 degrees, and your reasoning is vertically opposite angles. Please write the full thing, right? Can't add 3t and 12. What do? Take 12 to the other side, then you're left with 3t is equal to 66 minus 12. Remember, 12 was positive there, then it becomes negative. 3t is equals to 66 minus 12. That should give us 54 degrees, right? 54 degrees divided by 3. Remember, here we divide by 3. That 3 cancels that 3. Divide by 3 on that side also. Yeah, this one I don't want to guess here, right? My calculator, 54 divided by 3 should give us 18, and that is the value of t, right? Simple enough. I hope you're feeling cocky at this point. You're feeling confident in your abilities, and you trust that you're able to do this, right? Let's move on to this other one. Calculate the value of p. Value of p, we know that this angle and that angle, sorry for my screenshot, and that angle are the same. Therefore, we're going to say that 108 is equal to 2p plus, oh, that is a very ugly p, 2p plus 30, right? And then reasoning is vertically opposite angles, right? Then we know that we can't add 2p and 30, so that 30 is going to go to the other side. It's going to become negative 30. From that, we're going to say 2p is equals to 108 minus 30. That should give us 78 degrees, right? Divide both sides by 2. That would cancel that. Divide that by 2. That should give us p is equals to 39 degrees. And that is your final answer, right? At this point, I hope that you are grasping how vertically opposite angles work, right? And all that, because now it's going to get to what is challenging and whereby we're going to start applying these other three parts: the corresponding angles, the co-interior angles, and the alternate angles, right? That's when we're going to start applying this, right? Still a few questions here, so do not be scared. We have more than enough for you to practice, right? For this one, please watch before you attempt it by yourself. You can always revisit this and try to do and see that you can get to the same answer. So for this, we need to find Q, or P, Q, and R, right? Now, just looking from my view, how do I get Q? Okay, the only number I actually have, the only angle I actually have here is 133. All right, so if I have 133 and I see Q here, aren't these two angles the same? Vertically opposite angles. Okay, that's my first step. I know that Q is equal to 133. All right, now what else can I do? Can I look for a Z here? For a Z, for alternate angles, this one here does not work. Wrong angle. Alright, let's try the other way around. This one here, well, that's still a Z. So that and that. So Q is equal to 133 degrees and P is equal to Q. Okay, what else can you get from this? P and R, are these not vertically opposite angles? Okay, so that and that, vertically opposite angles. So P is equal to R. So R is equal to P and P is equal to Q and Q is equal to 133 degrees. Given this information, please press pause and try to do this by yourself. Try to see if you can say that Q is equals to 133 degrees and give me a reason. Say that P is equal to Q and give me a reason. Say R is equals to P and give me a reason. Right? Okay, let's try this now. I'm going to show you how we do it. First of all, Q and 133 degrees. When you say Q is equals to 133 degrees, what is my reasoning? Vertically opposite angles. Right? That is my reasoning. And that's it. Q is 133 degrees. Right? Then I say P is equal to Q. What is my reasoning? Alternate angles. Right? Alternate angles. And I must say my reasoning. Right? Why do I say these are alternate angles? It's because of these parallel lines over here. 1 and 2. These, when they show this, that means they are parallel. When they show this, that means they are equal. Right? You should remember these when you identify your shapes, so rhombus, kite and all that. But for now, we are on parallel lines, right? So P is equal to Q, parallel lines. Which lines are parallel? QL and MN. So I say here KL and MN. Sorry, wrong thing. Like that, parallel, right? Then I tell you that P is equals to 133 degrees, right? Then I come again and say R is equals to P. R is equals to P. What is my reasoning? Vertically opposite angles, right? Vertically opposite angles. Oh, okay, yeah, vertically opposite angles. And then I can also say R is equals to 133 degrees, and that's my answer, right? That is one way to get to the answer. Remember, I said there's many ways to get to the same answer. Many roads lead to the same destination, right? Look here, 133 degrees, right? And P. Before I give you the answer, can you guess how come these two are the same, right? Look here. Is that not an F, right? These two corresponding angles, right? Look again. Q and R. Look there. Corresponding angles also. It's upside down, so if you're like, where is this guy seeing the F, turn your phone around so that you can see it, right? But that is also corresponding angles, right? If you wanted to, you could have also said that once you found Q, you could have said that angle there, LMH, right? LM, well, L, whatever this angle would be, and then H there, and say co-interior angles. Once you found the co-interior angles here, so if this is 133, that would be 133. This co-interior angle would be 60, 50, 57 degrees, right? And then once you have this co-interior angle, you can just say angles on a straight line, and you'd come back and say that this is 133 degrees. Sorry, not 57 degrees, 40. 47 degrees. Right? That is your answer. Different rows to the same path.